Welcome to this end of year mock test video where I'm going to be doing a 50 question mock test, giving you hints, tips, tricks along the way so you can have a good start to your 2025 if you've got your theory test booked. If you haven't got one booked in 2025 or early part of 2025, this gives you a chance to study this video, pick up the tricks along the way and watch the Study With Me series or Practice Makes You Better series, which you can find on my channel in the playlist section. So let's waste no more time. Let's get started. So I always suggest that you read the questions first. If they've got an image, take a look at the image and then go to your 4 options. So you wish to tow a trailer. Where would you find the maximum nose weight for your vehicle's tow hitch? You're going to find it in the vehicle's manufacturer's handbook. It gives you the details of the maximum weight that you can tow for your particular vehicle. So in the highway code, no. In the vehicle's handbook, possible, yes. In your license documents, no. In your vehicle's registration certificate, no. What should you do if you're towing a trailer and it starts to swing from side to side? I will add as well, the words should, may, must changes the context. It normally means it's something you definitely should be doing or it's law, if that makes sense. So the key word here is actually should. So let's just read that question again. What should you do if you're towing a trailer and it starts to swing from side to side? Let go of the steering wheel and let it correct itself. That can't be safe if you're letting go of the steering wheel. Remember, the theory test is about safety, and guess what? Safety. So it can't be that. Ease off the accelerator to reduce your speed. You're reducing your speed, so it's going to make it safer. So let's tick that one for now. Brake hard and hold the pedal down. Obviously, you don't want to be braking hard. If the answer has hard, harshly, it's never going to be correct. So you can rule that one out. And accelerate until it's stabilized. Again, if it says accelerate, speed up quickly in your answer, again, it can't be right. You're about to overtake a slow moving motorcyclist. Which sign would make you take special care? If you didn't know, triangles are warnings, circles are normally orders, and well, this is just a one-way street, a one-way road. So hence why you look at the images first. So you're about to overtake a slow moving motorcyclist. Which sign would make you take special care? It's going to be the triangle. It's warning you of windy conditions. What should you do when you're approaching a bus that's signaling to move away from a bus stop? Flash your headlights as you approach. Flashing your headlights mean warning of your presence, so it's not going to be that. Get past before it moves. That suggests you're rushing. So again, it can't be that, not safe. Signal left and wave the bus. Waving is not allowed on your driving test. It's not waving and it's not allowed in driving full stop. I know you see people doing it, but technically you shouldn't be waving people to do anything. So it's going to be this one. So by default, out of all of these 3, this is the safest option because these are all no's. To be fair, you should never be doing no. So this default is the safest one. It's also, let me just read the answer. Allow it to pull away if it's safe to do so. The key word there is safe, because if it's safe to do so, if it's got the word safe, safely, or safety in the answer, you have to shortlist as a possible. It doesn't always work, but you have to shortlist it as a possible and then go from there. But this is the only one out of all 3 of them that has safe in it. So we safely go with that one. What does the term blind spot mean? Blind spot means the bit the mirrors don't pick up. It's a massive part of the driving test as well. The examiner will be looking for you to check your blind spot when he gets you to park up on the left quite a few times. So blind spot is the bits the mirrors do not pick up, and that's over your shoulder. An area covered by your right-hand mirror, no. An area not visible to the driver, yes. An area not covered by your headlights, no. An area covered by your left-hand mirror, again, no. What should, remember the key words here is should you do before slowing down or stopping your vehicle. So these, like I said to you before, should, must, may is something you definitely should be doing, or sometime it's law. What you should definitely be doing before slowing down is checking your mirrors. Flash your headlights, no, definitely not. Select a high gear, no. Use your mirrors, yes, so you know what's going on behind you. And sound your horn again, no. So again, by default, all of these are silly answers, to be fair, and wrong answers. So by default, you're left with mirrors anyway. What's a statutory off-road notification which is sworn? A statutory off-road notification is a form that you fill in if you're not going to tax your car, and then you have to take your car off the road. So that's what it stands for. It's in the name, statutory off-road notification. So you're not going to use your car because you're not going to tax it. That's the key. So you're not taxing your vehicle. Now you have to fill in that form and then take your car off the road. A notification to tell the DVSA that a vehicle doesn't have a current MOT. No. A notification to tell the DVLA that the vehicle isn't being used on the road. That's a possible. Information kept by the police about the owner of the vehicle. No. Information held by the insurance companies to check a vehicle is insured. Again, no. What's the maximum fine for driving or riding without insurance? This has been updated in recent months, years probably now. I think it's about a year or two. It used to be 5,000. It's now unlimited. You're traveling on the motorway. How can you lower the risk of a collision when the vehicle behind is following too closely? Now, when this comes up in the classroom, their students normally put ignore the driver. You can't ignore the driver behind, because if you're ignoring the driver, it means you're not paying attention. If the vehicle behind you is traveling too closely, what you want to be doing is reduce the gap between you and the car in front. Remember, the theory test always leads you to safety. So you're not slowing down and the car's going to crash into the back of you. All you're going to do is, to be honest, is ease off the gas. The car knows it's driving too close to you. So when you ease off the gas, your car's going to be going slower. They're going to keep the gap the same. So they're not going to go into the back of you. And the reason for that is because the car in front now gets further away, which means you've got more time and space to control your braking in that gap you just created. Brake sharply. Remember, it's got sharply in it. You can eliminate that straight away. Moving to the hard shoulder. That's for emergencies only, so no. Increase your distance from the vehicle in front. Yes. Switch on your hazard warning lights. That's not going to change anything. The driver behind knows he's driving closely. You putting hazards on ain't changing that. What should you do when you're driving in snowy conditions? Again, what should? Key word. Brake firmly and quickly. No, because it's snowy conditions. You're going to end up skidding. Use side lights only. No. Brake gently. This is the safest option so far. Brake gently in plenty of time. So you spread in the braking distance or stopping distance over a longer period of time, so you control how your vehicle stops in ice or snow. Be ready to steer sharply. Again, it's got sharply in it, so you can eliminate that straight away. What should you do when you're overtaking a motorcyclist on a windy day? So what should you do when you're overtaking a motorcyclist on a windy day? Pass immediately. Probably not. Pass closely, definitely not, because it's windy. Pass very slowly. The whole point of overtaking someone is to get past them because they're going slowly. So what's the point in you going slowly to pass someone? Makes no sense. And then pass widely. Yeah, just in case the wind blows them and gets in your way. So there's going to be pass wide to give them more space than usual. You're being overtaken by a long, heavily laden lorry. What, again, should you do if it's taking a long time for it to overtake? Hold your speed. Can't be safe. Speed up. Again, it's got speed up in the answer, so it can't be right. Slow down. Yeah, slow down, let the lorry in. You're never going to win the battle with a lorry, so don't go toe-to-toe with it. If the lorry's taking a long time to pass you, reduce your speed, allow it to go in front of you, and change direction, and the answer is going to be no for that one. The conditions are good and dry. When should you use the 2-second rule? The 2-second rule is when you're checking the distance between you and the car in front. Normally, when you're doing 40 miles an hour or more, you're looking for a 2-second gap. If it's wet, it's 4 seconds or double. They can word it either way on the theory test, and 10 times more on ice and snow. Right, when checking your gap from the vehicle in front, yes. When traffic lights change to green, no. Before using the mirrors, signal maneuver routine, no. Before restarting the engine after it's stalled, again, no. What should you do if you're driving a slow moving vehicle on a narrow, winding road? So what should? Keywords, I'm emphasizing this. Pull in when you can to let vehicles behind overtake. That's the safest option so far. Wave once it's got wave, don't have to read it anymore. Keep well out to stop vehicles overtaking dangerously. You're stopping vehicles from passing. It could be an unmarked police car, for example, which wants to get by. So you never willingly or knowingly stop someone to get past you. Give a left signal when it's safe for vehicles to overtake you. Again, no, you wouldn't give a signal. but just move to the left. So pull in when you can to let the vehicles behind overtake. What should you check before you start a journey in foggy weather? You have a mobile phone with you? Nope. Windows and lights are clean and clear? Yes. The reason for that, fog is a mist. So normally it sticks to your windscreen and headlights. So you want to clear it so you've got a clear view in the fog. And your lights could be seen as well from a distance. The radiator has enough antifreeze? No. You have a warning triangle in the vehicle? And again, no. Let's take a quick break from the video. Are you struggling with your theory test? Let me help you pass in just 5 days. Welcome to the 5-day theory test bootcamp, your shortcut to success. I have now taken my classroom sessions online. Come and join me and my students. Here's how it works. 2 hours a day on Zoom with me, live and interactive. Bite-sized lessons that make even the trickiest topics simple. Mock tests to build your confidence. Daily tips, words of encouragement to keep you motivated. Whether you're stuck on road signs, has a perception, or just don't know where to start, this course has everything you need to smash the theory test. Don't wait. Come and join the hundreds of learners who've passed with me. Start today. In 5 days, you'll feel ready, confident, and unstoppable. The link will be in the description. Now let's get back to the video. When will you feel the effects of engine braking? Now, engine braking is related to a lower gear. The lower the gear, i.e. first and second, drive the car at slow speeds, but it's a power gear. So if you use the brake, you are slowing down. So you want a gear that's going to help you slow down. 3, 4, 5, and 6 gear are faster gears. It just maintains, it drives the car at faster speeds, but it's a weaker gear. So the key word there's engine braking, which means you're slowing down. You want a lower gear to help the car slow down. So let's see. When you change to a lower gear, first one out of the hat. When you change to higher gear, means that's faster. When you're in neutral, neutral is not a gear. That's why you go handbrake neutral when you park up. And when you only use the parking brake. In other words, a handbrake. And again, no. And you're never going to use a handbrake while the car's in motion anyway. Shouldn't be anyway. Why could it be dangerous to keep the clutch down or select neutral for long periods of time while you're driving? Keeping the clutch down is known as coasting, and it's lack of engine braking or lack of control of the car. So you have less steering and braking control. First one out again. It will wear tires out more quickly. Definitely not. Fuel spillage will occur. Nope. Engine damage may be caused. You don't cause engine damage when you are coasting. So it's going to be this one. It's lack of control, basically. When you go around corners in second gear anyway, the clutch should definitely be up. Reduce to coasting on your driving lessons and driving test. You're driving with your front fog lights switched on. What should you do if the fog has cleared? Guess what? If your fog lights are on when the fog is there and the fog is cleared, turn them off. It can dazzle other road users. Dazzled means temporary blindness, just in case you didn't know. Drive with them on instead of your headlights. No. Switch them off as long as the visibility remains good. Yeah, because the fog is gone. Leave them on if other drivers have their lights on. No, because some other drivers may forget to turn the lights off. And flash them to warn oncoming traffic that it's foggy. And again, you don't flash anyone on your lessons or driving test. You're at a scene of an incident. How could you help someone who's suffering from shock? Offer them some food. Never give anyone food or drink at a scene of an accident. Give them a warm drink. That's the same thing. Reassure them confidently. Yes. Reassure them confidently means talking to them. Stay with them. Let them know someone's there for them. But don't tell them they're going to be fine. Don't tell them they're going to be okay. You can't give people false hope. But talk to them about anything and everything under the sun. Just let them know that someone is there for them, with them, until the ambulance turns up. And offer them cigarettes. And again, no. You're going through a long tunnel. What will warn you of congestion or an incident ahead? Areas with hatch markings. Nope. Hatch markings separates the traffic in both directions. Other drivers flashing the lights. Again, no, flashing is warning of the present, so it doesn't relate to this question. Variable message signs, yes. Variable message signs is signs that can change, let you know what speed limits are, lane closures, weather conditions. That's what variable message signs are. So obviously they can change it at any point. Hazard warning lines just lets you know there's a hazard coming up, but it doesn't tell you what the hazard is. An adult casualty isn't breathing. To maintain circulation, CPR should be given. What's the correct depth to press down on their chest? It's an adult, so it's going to be 5 to 6, give or take. 5 to 6 centimeters, first one out. That's the correct answer. You have to read the rest. That's the correct answer. Traffic officers operate on motorways and some primary routes in England and Wales. What are they authorised to do? These guys are traffic officers. Let me just highlight that. So hopefully you can see that. They're traffic officers, not police officers, but don't have any legal powers. So they either stop direct traffic on the motorway, is the common answer. So issue fixed penalty notices. They haven't got the power or authority to do that. Stop and arrest drivers who break the law. Again, haven't got the power or legal rights to do that. Stop and direct anyone on the motorway. Yes. Repair broken down vehicles on the motorway. No. And I will add another question that does come up. What colour are their lights? Their lights are red and amber, not blue and white, because they've got no legal powers. So it's red and amber for their lights when they flash. What should you do when you're approaching roadworks on the motorway? So what, again, keyword there, should. Stay very close to the vehicle in front. That can't be safe. You shouldn't be staying close to vehicles in any condition. So that can't be safe. Speed up to clear the area. Again, you've got speed up, so can't be correct. Obey the speed limit. That's the safest thing to do. Obey the speed limit. Because the speed limit will be dropping if it's got roadworks normally on the motorway. Always use the hard shoulder. And you know the hard shoulder is for emergencies only. So you cannot use the hard shoulder unless it's in an emergency. What's the speed limit for a car towing a trailer on the motorway? The key point here is car towing. So just a car, it's 70 miles an hour. Because you're towing, you're going to drop it by 10, so it becomes 60 miles an hour. So we just look for 60, and that's your option. You're traveling on a motorway in England. When must you stop your vehicle? When you signal to stop by a traffic officer, which we just discussed, I think 2 questions back. They haven't got legal powers, but they request you to stop. Again, another question for that is on a real test is how did they get you to stop? And the answer is stay behind you, flash their lights and point to the left. When signaled to stop by a pedestrian on the hard shoulder, no. When signaled to stop by a roadwork supervisor, no. When signaled to stop by a driver who has broken down, again, answer no. What must you do if you come across roadworks that have a temporary speed limit displayed? You're going to have to obey, even though it's temporary advising you as well, it's going to be obey safety. Obey the limit, but only during rush hour. Only during rush hour, nope. Ignore the displayed limit. Again, you're ignoring, so you can't be safe. Use your own judgment. The limit is only advisory. Again, no. It's advising you because they know what could happen if you go faster than that particular speed limit. Obey the speed limit. Again, safest option is always obey the speed limit. What should you do when there's an obstruction on your side of the road? Wave oncoming vehicles. We already established now from previous questions, we never wave. Carry on as you have priority. If the obstacle's on your side of the road, you do not have priority. The cars coming towards you do. Accelerate. Again, you've got to accelerate, so I'm not even going to carry on reading that. Give way to oncoming traffic, which is what you should do because they have priority. Where's the safest, the key word there is safest place to park a vehicle at night? In a quiet car park. No, that's what the thief wants. Near a red route. Not everyone can park near a red route. You got to remember also the answers to the theory test questions, it's got to be generic across the board, where someone can always do it, or the answer is always going to be the same across the board, regardless of where you're taking the test, whether it's Manchester, London, Birmingham, Nottingham, doesn't make a difference. The answer has to be the same. Not everyone could park near a red route. In a garage, yes, it's going to be the safest place because in a garage it's normally locked up, and on the busy road, again, no. This junction's controlled by a traffic light has a marked area between the 2 stop line. What's this for? Yeah, look at the image. It's got a picture of a cycle there. So let's go and see if we can find a common denominator between the question or the image and the answers. To allow people with disability to cross the road, no. To allow taxis to position in front of other traffic, no. To allow cyclists and pedestrians to cross the road together. It's got just a picture of a cyclist. So that's no. To allow cyclists to position in front of other traffic. Yep, that's the answer. That's why I always say look at the image, because sometimes there's clues in the image. As I said, this has got cyclists, This has got cyclists, but this has got cyclists and pedestrians. So obviously that's a no. This is a yes. You're about to reverse into a side road. What should you do for pedestrians waiting to cross behind your car? Let them go. Believe it or not, pedestrians have priority, and the safest thing to do is let them go anyway. Reverse before the pedestrian starts to cross. That suggests you're rushing. That can't be safe. Sound your horn to warn the pedestrian. Yes, you wouldn't have your presence, but safety, let them go. Wave. Once it's got wave again, get rid. Doesn't make sense reading that. And give way to the pedestrian. Yeah. Who may use toucan crossings? It's in the answer. Oh, sorry, it's in the question. Two can cross at the same time. That's what toucan stands for. So two can cross at the same time. One is cyclist, one is pedestrian, two. So motorcyclists and cyclists, no. Cyclists and pedestrians, yes. Only cyclists, no. Motorcyclists and pedestrian, no. What should you do when you see an older person about to cross the road? Speed up to get past. Again, it's got speed, get rid. Expect them to wait for you. No, do not expect them to wait for you. Be careful. They may misjudge your speed. Yeah, when you get to a certain age, apparently, I'm not too far off that age, speed and distance becomes an issue. So yeah, they may misjudge your speed and distance. Stop, and again, you got wave in that, so get rid. When will your vehicle use more fuel? When its tires are of different makes. Doesn't make a difference. They have to be the same brand, so that's fine. When its tires are underinflated, yep, because when it's flat, it's going to have to work harder. Your tires should be kept at the right pressure for the amount of weight you are carrying. When its tires are overinflated, no. When its tires are new. So when the tires are flat, if you imagine a football bouncing a football, flat football, you're going to have to throw it down a lot harder to get the same height as you would have done if the ball was correctly pumped up. How will a roof rack affect your car? That's going to be with stability or use more fuel. One of the two options they can give you. They can give you two different options with this type of question, but let's see which one they're giving us. Fuel consumption will increase. Fuel consumption will increase. That's a possible because it's a roof rack, wind resistance and all. The car will accelerate faster. That's not going to happen. There will be less wind noise. Again, that's not going to happen. The engine will use more oil. Yeah, so in this case, it's fuel consumption. But as I said before, they can make it a stability question. Sorry, a stability answer. So be very careful with that. What does it mean if the electronic stability control ESC indicator light comes on briefly while you're driving? If it's an amber light, it normally means it's working or activated. So that's what we're looking for. ESC system has activated. There you go. First one out. Don't need to look for the others because that is the only option they're going to give you. That's close to the correct answer. Where would parking your vehicle cause an obstruction? In front of a property entrance. The way they word that, in the front of a property entrance. In other words, in front of a driveway. On your driveway, no, because your driveway. Alongside a parking meter, that's where you should be parking if the parking meter is available at the time you want to park. And in a marked parking space, again, no, that's where you should park if it's available. So it's in front of a property entrance. In other words, a driveway. It's just the way they word the questions and answers is ridiculous. When are you not allowed to sound your vehicle's horn? This is time. So you're not allowed to sound your horn between 11:30 p.m. and 7 a.m. in the morning. So not between 11:30 p.m. and 7 a.m. So let's just look for that. Between 11:30 p.m. 7 a.m. in a built-up area. 11:36, no. 10 and 6, no. Why should you check the information leaflet before taking any medicines or medication? Side effects to see if it's going to affect you. Some medication says don't operate heavy machinery while under the influence because it makes you drowsy or slow to react. Cars come under heavy machinery. The medicine you take may affect your hearing. No. You may have to let your insurance company know about the medicine. No. Some types of medicines can affect your ability to drive safely. Yes. Drug companies want customers' feedback on their products. And again, no. What should you do if it's raining and you're following this lorry on a motorway? So take a look at the image. Okay, so you're following the lorry. It's a lot of spray there. So it's going to be hold back or slow down, one of the two. Be aware of spray reducing your vision. Yeah, be aware of it. So slow down, reduce your speed. Allow a 2-second gap. It's wet, so it's not going to be a 2-second gap. It's going to be a 4-second gap. Switch your headlights onto a main beam. Definitely not, because you may dazzle other drivers. And move into a lane that has less spray. You're going to get spray regardless of what lane you should be in. And it says motorway, and everybody should stay left unless you are overtaking. So stay behind the lorry and be aware of spray reducing your vision. You're driving a car fitted with automatic transmission. When would you use kick down? Right, kick down is quick acceleration. On automatic cars, technically they don't have gears. So to pick up speed quickly, like you're on a motorway to get to 70 miles an hour, you just floor the gas literally, and it kicks it down to a power gear for you, build the speed up, and then levels it off for the gear for that particular speed when you get an average speed. So you're looking for quick acceleration, and there's always just one answer that comes close to that. So to improve fuel economy, no. To accelerate quickly, yes. To brake progressively, no. To engage cruise control, no. Which type of vehicles should you be ready to give way to as you approach this bridge? This is a height issue, so it's going to be anything that's going to struggle to get through. So bicycles, no. Motorcycles, no. Buses, yes. Cars, no. Cars will still stay a meter from the left. So when you start your driving lessons, you'll be told a meter from the curb or meter from parked cars. Is buses. I will add, on the real test, they can use anything high-sided. So they can use buses individual as this one, lorries as individual, or they can do it collectively and say high-sided vehicles. So you can look for any one of those three answers on the real test itself. Why should you reduce your speed here? Again, look at the image. You've got a triangle warning you of a staggered junction with that. So a low bridge is ahead. Let's get rid of this. No. The road surface changes ahead. No. The road narrows ahead. No. A staggered junction is ahead. Yes. What does this sign mean? When you see an end sign, it means end of any restriction that you saw. So let's just say it was 40 miles an hour, temporary 40 miles an hour. You now see end, you're going back to a normal speed limit. If it's, I don't know, lanes closed off, you see end, it means that lane's now going to reopen again. So it's end of any restriction that you saw. So end of motorway, no. Lane ends ahead, no. Free recovery ends, no. End of restriction. That's the one you want to go for. What should you do when you see this sign as you travel along the motorway? Now, this image, there's two types of arrows. There's one that faces left on the real test, and then there's this one. The way that I normally explain this is straight and then it's going left. So it's straight, then left. So it means leave at the next exit. Keep driving straight, but come off at the very next exit. So leave a motorway at the next exit, yeah. First one out, move on to the hard shoulder. You know that's not going to be safe. It's only for emergencies only. Turn left immediately. That suggests it's not safe as well because it's immediately. And change lane. Again, no. Like I said, the diagonal one would be change lanes when safe to do so. What does this sign mean? This is a triangle. Remember, triangles are warning. It's just warning you of a danger. No, they haven't got a sign for that danger. So that's what this means. Be aware of danger. Slippery road ahead, no. Surface, I can't even pronounce the same words now. Surface area ahead. Danger ahead, yes. Tires liable to puncture ahead, no. What does this sign mean? This is a crawler lane. If you didn't know, a crawler lane is for lorries because obviously going up a steep gradient, that's where you'd find it. But it's another question, where would you find it on a steep gradient? Obviously, lorries are carrying loads. So when they're going up a steep gradient, they're going to be a lot slower than you guys will be. So they will move to the crawler lane and literally crawl up the hill. So that's what it is. So the question, what does this sign mean? Lane for heavy and slow vehicles. That's a possible. It's just the way it says slow vehicles. Leave motorway at the next exit. We already saw the sign previously for that one, so it's no. All lorries use a hard shoulder. Again, you know you can't use a hard shoulder unless it's emergency onlys. And rest area for lorries, and again, no. What does this sign mean? All blue signs are mandatory. So this is a minimum speed limit. For whatever reason, they want you to stay above 30 miles an hour. So minimum speed limit, first one out. Surface area 30 miles, no. Lay-by 30 miles ahead, no. Maximum speed. Maximum speed would be in a red circle. Right, these are your case study videos. So let's see what the question is first. What should you do when you're approaching a bus stop? I don't need to watch the video for that. Right, flash your headlights. We know you're not going to flash. Continue at the same speed, but sound your horn again. Flashing and horn is the same thing, alerting about your presence. Pass the bus stop as quick. Again, it's got quickly in there, so get rid of that. So by default, just getting rid of these three. By reading these three, they all can't be the right answer. So you're left with this one. Watch carefully for sudden appearance of pedestrians. Another case study, same video. Why do cyclists and motorcyclists often wear fluorescent clothing when riding in daylight? To be seen. That's no other reason for it. It reduces wind resistance. No. It keeps them cool in hot weather. No. It helps other road users to see them. Yes. And it prevents injury if they fall off. No. What should you do when you're following a vehicle that's being driven or ridden by a learner? What should you do? Ridden by a learner. Okay. Probably be patient, to be honest. Sound your horn and overtake. Definitely not. Put your headlights on main beam again. Not. Keep close behind. No. Keep calm and be patient. Now, if you read these questions, right? So sound your horn and overtake. No. Sound your horn is warning of your presence, but you don't want to be doing that with a learner driver. Put your headlights on main beam. You're never going to put your headlights on main beam if another road user's on the road, because you're going to dazzle them, blind them. Keep close behind. It's a learner driver. You definitely don't want to be close behind a learner driver. So by default, you're left with keep calm and be patient. With the real test, there's always one stupid answer, at least one stupid answer. So you can get rid of that one if you don't know what the answers are. Work backwards. So if you don't know what the answer is, work backwards. Work out what it can't be. In this case, you got three answers that it can't be. So by default, you're left with that one. So I've not flagged any. So there you have it. 50 out of 50. The theory test is made up of 50 questions. And the apps have 700 plus questions. I think on the real theory test, they've got a database of like 1,000 plus questions. And I always say expose yourself to all the questions by doing all the categories. That's the best way to study, to do all the categories, then start doing mock tests, because you don't know what 50 set of questions you're going to get. And like I said, your 50 questions is made up of those 14 categories they've got. So let me just go back to this and just quickly show you what I'm talking about. So in this 50 question mock test, I've got vehicle loading 2 out of 2. Other types of vehicles 2. Questions at those categories. Alertness 2. Documents 2. Safety margins 3. Attitude 3. Vehicle handling 4. Incidents, accidents and emergencies 3. Motorway rules 3. Rules of the road 4. Vulnerable road users 4. Safety in your vehicle 5. Hazard and awareness 5. Road and traffic signs 5. Case studies 3. You're always going to get 3 case studies anyway. That's standard, because the last 3 videos are case study videos. Now you imagine if I was weak on safety in your vehicle, hazard awareness and road and traffic signs, that's 15 questions where I could be sort of really struggling with. And if I got 8 or more wrong with just those 3 categories, I would fail my test. And that's the reason why all your categories really have to be strong, because you don't know how your test is going to be made up out of those 14 categories. So hopefully this video gave you some hints, tips and tricks that you can use on your theory test in the new year. I wish you luck with your test. If you've got any questions, put it in the comments below the video and I will check them out and I'll try to respond to them. I will do the second part to this video. I didn't want to do it all in one to make it too long, which will be the hazard perception mock test. So look out for that one. I'll put the link in the description once the video's been filmed. So I will catch you in the next video.